It all happened on a rainy night when I decided to go to the nearby McDonald's. Now, I'm not one to visit there often, but there was something about that night that made me step inside. Let me tell you, it was a night I'll never forget. So picture this. It was pouring rain, the kind that makes you want to stay indoors. But there I was, craving a burger and fries. So I braved the weather and made my way to McDonald's. The place was dimly lit, the sound of rain hitting the windows adding to the cozy atmosphere. As I walked in, I noticed something strange. The restaurant was nearly empty, which was odd for a Friday night. But hey, I wasn't complaining. I ordered my usual, a Big Mac with a large soda, and found a seat by the window. I watched the raindrops race down the glass as I took a bite of my burger. The place was eerily quiet, the only sounds being the soft music playing in the background and the occasional thunder rumbling in the distance. It was almost peaceful in a way. But as I continued eating, a sense of unease crept over me. I felt like I was being watched, like there were eyes boring into the back of my head. I turned around, expecting to see someone staring at me, but the restaurant was empty except for the employees behind the counter. Shrugging off the feeling, I turned back to my meal. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of movement. I looked again, and that's when I saw them. Two figures standing near the entrance. They were completely drenched, rainwater dripping from their clothes. It was as if they had emerged from the storm itself. Curiosity got the better of me, so I kept watching them. They seemed out of place, their expressions unreadable. It was like they were frozen in time, their eyes locked on something or someone inside the restaurant. A chill ran down my spine as their gazes met mine, a jolt of fear gripping my heart. I quickly looked away, trying to convince myself that it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. As the minutes ticked by, the tension in the air grew thicker, suffocating almost. I wanted to leave, but a morbid curiosity held me in place. Then, without warning, the two figures started walking towards me. My heart raced, and a surge of adrenaline pumped through my veins. Panic washed over me as they approached my table, their steps slow and deliberate. "Excuse me," one of them said, their voice low and hollow. "We need your help." I was frozen with fear, unable to respond. They took a seat across from me, their eyes still fixed on mine. It was as if they were searching for something within me, something I couldn't comprehend. They began to speak, their words dripping with desperation. They told me about their parents, how they had disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The police had given up, claiming there was no evidence of foul play. But they knew the truth, deep in their hearts, and they needed someone to believe them. As they spoke, I could feel their anguish, their pain seeping into my very being. It was like their sorrow was infecting me, filling me with a sense of dread. I tried to reason with them, telling them that there must be another explanation, but their eyes held a haunting truth that I couldn't ignore. I decided to tell my parents about the encounter, hoping they would have some rational explanation. But to my dismay, they didn't believe me. They dismissed it as a figment of my imagination, saying I had watched too many horror movies. But I knew in my heart that there was something more to their story. To this day, I can't shake off the feeling of unease that night brought. It's like a dark cloud hangs over that McDonald's, a secret hidden beneath its golden arches. I often find myself wondering about those two figures, the ones who sought my help. Were they ghosts? Or were they something far more sinister? So, my friends, if you ever find yourself at McDonald's on a rainy night, keep your eyes open. You never know what secrets may be lurking in the shadows, waiting to be revealed. And remember, sometimes the scariest things are the ones we least expect. There we were, me and my buddies, just hanging out at McDonald's one night. We were starving as usual, so we decided to grab some burgers and fries to satisfy our cravings. Little did we know that this would turn into the scariest night of our lives. The restaurant was bustling with people, the sound of chatter filling the air. We found a table near the back, away from the crowd, and dug into our delicious meals. Everything seemed fine, just a typical night at McDonald's, you know? But as we were munching on our fries, I noticed something strange out of the corner of my eye. There were these two guys sitting at a table nearby, wearing hoodies with their hoods pulled up. They looked suspicious. like they didn't belong there. I nudged my friend Tom and pointed them out. "Hey Tom, check out those guys. Something feels off about them," I whispered, my voice trembling a bit. Tom squinted in their direction and shrugged. "Ah, don't worry about it, buddy. They're probably just regular customers. You're always overthinking things." I tried to brush off the unease, but it lingered in the back of my mind. The more I watched those two, the more uncomfortable I felt. It was like they were watching us, studying our every move. I couldn't shake off the feeling that something bad was about to happen. Time seemed to slow down as we continued eating. The restaurant started emptying out, and soon it was just me, my friends, and those two mysterious guys. The air grew heavy, tension thickening with every passing moment. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. Suddenly, one of the guys got up and started walking toward us. My heart leaped into my throat, and panic washed over me. I whispered to my friends, "Guys, something's not right. We need to get out of here." But before we could react, the guy stood right in front of us, his cold eyes staring into our souls. He had this sinister smile on his face, sending chills down my spine. I could barely catch my breath as he spoke, his voice low and menacing. "You're not going anywhere," he hissed, his words dripping with malice. Fear gripped us, paralyzing our bodies. We were trapped, surrounded by this eerie presence. I could see my friends' faces pale with terror, mirroring my own fear. We had no idea what these guys wanted from us, or why they were tormenting us. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, they pulled out knives from their pockets. The glint of the blades in the dim light of the restaurant sent shivers down my spine. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears as they advanced toward us, their eyes filled with pure malice. In that moment, survival instinct kicked in. We fought back with everything we had, desperately trying to escape their clutches. It was chaos, a flurry of punches, kicks, and screams echoing through the empty McDonald's. The place transformed into a battlefield of fear. But luck was on our side that night. We managed to break free from their grip and make a mad dash towards the exit. It felt like a miracle, our adrenaline pushing us forward, ignoring the pain and fear. We stumbled out into the night, gasping for breath, and collapsed on the pavement. As we caught our breath, we realized the price we had paid for our escape. One of our friends was badly injured, blood gushing from his wounds. We called for an ambulance and clung to each other, shaking from the horror we had just experienced. To this day, we can't explain what happened or why those guys targeted us. It was a night of terror we'll never forget. McDonald's will never be the same for us, a reminder of that horrifying encounter. We were lucky to survive, but the scars, both physical and emotional, remain with us, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks in the most unexpected places.